Hi, everybody. From the Accustats Arena at Caesars, Southern Indiana, welcome to the 2022 Derby City Classic and the All-Around Pocket Billiards Championship. Very good. Thank you very much, everybody. Arguably pool's most exciting event, and it's proudly sponsored by Diamond Billiard Products, by Simonis Cloth, and by Aramuth. And we also want to thank our associate sponsors, OBQs, Master Chalk and Outsville, and of course our great tireless team of tournament direction from Bad Boys Billiards Productions. Our 12th year in a row here at Caesars Southern Indiana, we want to again express our gratitude to them for being great partners and hosts all along the way, and to thank each and every one of our super Accustats fans and Derby City fans throughout the world, and those of you that have come here to watch it live in person. It's you that have made this event what it is, the most popular event in professional pools. So thank you very much, everybody. Okay, we are in 9-ball all the way till the end tonight when we crown a champion. Just before I introduce our two players, I want to just re-mention a couple of quick congratulations. First of all, to Fedor Gorst. He is now the 2022 Derby City One Pocket Champion to go along with his bank pool title. I think we know where that's headed. We also want to say congratulations to Billy Thorpe. He took down the bank pool ring game last night. Okay, unfortunately, both of our competitors here have used their rebuys, so this is an elimination match. Let's introduce them to you right now. From Poland, he's a former European 9-ball champion. He's a former Treviso Open 9-ball champion on the Euro Tour. He's sponsored by Predator, by Erg, Björn Folia, and by Mestato. Please welcome Konrad Ustashin. His opponent, originally from Dover, Ohio, a former Derby City Classic straight pool champion, a former Jay Swanson Memorial 9-ball champion, and a member of the Team USA Dream Team Challenge. He's sponsored by Miyuchi, by Bear Creek Eye Care, and of course by Outsville as well. It's Mad Max Everly. All right, guys, go ahead and lag for the break, please. This is a race to 9, rack your own, 40-second shot clock, cue ball fouls only. We'll send it up to the comm box now to Mark Wilson and Double J. Take it away.
Welcome, pool fans from around the world. We have some dynamic 9-ball headed your way. Mark Wilson and Jeremy Jones on the call. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thanks, Mark, and a couple great lags here to open this match, and it looks like Mad Max is taking it down. He'll rack the balls. It is rack your own. This is the final day of the Derby City Classic. An all 9-ball from here on out. I think this is round 7. I believe so anyways, and as Kenny told us, each one of these guys have a loss, so we're going to lose one of these great players, but one will advance.
We have not.
Go ahead, Mark.
We have not seen Yasheshin on the TV table this week, but we did see Mad Max here on the 10-foot table, and boy, he made a nice accounting for himself.
Yeah, he played, well, I say flawless, perfect. He shot 1,000 through the first about 6 or 7 games, and then really didn't make a ton of mistakes from there. Just a few things got away for him to lose a close match, 11-9 there in the 10-foot challenge. I think it was it. Who was he playing? Was it Mika? I think it was Mika.
Yeah, it was Mika.
It's been a few days ago and a lot of hours, Mark, so hard to remember exactly.
Good break there. I don't think he made anything yet, but good break.
Yeah, I hit a few balls last night, and I toyed around with that break. I broke them flat from the side rail. Never made the corner ball, added the spin, started making the corner ball. Remember we were talking about the outside spin, and we saw the guys the other day that were spinning the ball, push that corner ball in. I can't explain the math behind it, but
if it works, it works.
There's something going on there, yeah. Okay, it looks like he's straight enough to maybe get some shape here.
He went a little light into the 5.
Man, super tough kick shot here.
Can't fault him for that effort. Yeah, this is.
You may have to go side rail, in rail, and bend it back up onto the 2 with a lot of left English. I don't really see another path. I mean, you could tie the 2-5 up, but where's that getting you? Usually, if they're not on the rail, that's not going to get you very good, right?
He pushed out to, I guess, to a kick.
No, he
No, a
shot
foul.
the one. Yeah,
Okay,
he shot
well.
the one.
He was trying to move the 5 up forward then.
Yeah, that's maybe was the shot. Maybe put the 5 underneath the 8 more than on the 2 because it was going to be hard to lock the 2 up.
But even if you get the 5 on the 8, a lot of times that sells out the side pocket anyway.
Yeah.
You've got to really hit that pure.
I think I would have gone for the kick maybe.
Or maybe try to tie something else up. Like
Right.
put the 3 over on the 8.
This is first shot has gotten extremely tricky with needs a lot of inside spin here. And this is the kind of shot on this table you really got to smooth it around, Mark. If you really try to get into it, the English may not grab.
Good shot there.
Yeah, he kind of overcut the 3 to help the grab of the cue ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Really cut it a lot and got perfect. All right, he should use the 8 ball a little bit here. Thing about this is you really want to pay attention how you come into the 8. If he's drawing back for the side off the 8, I don't know.
We're used to people just using the 8 to stop the cue ball rather than try to maneuver off of it because that makes a whole nother realm of difficulty. Max is kind of a free thinker, free spirit. He does artwork, fantastic, plays great pool. Questions all science.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he came and stayed at my house. It's been like 2 years now, maybe, for about 5 or 6 days, and had a lot of different conversations. And then rode to Wichita Falls together and had even more conversations. He'll make you think, that's for sure, right?
Yeah.
All right, could roll this in, I think, no problem.
One thing, I never have any problem with someone that's an unconventional thinker because it calls into question things that maybe I've accepted and haven't examined myself. And I appreciate people that think for themselves rather than just accept, even though sometimes I'm guilty of not thinking for myself. So.
Yeah. Well, Max, he told me before he puts his opinion out there, he really researches something. So he wants to feel very thorough, just like his 9-ball game.
I have no doubt about that being true.
And a 1-0 lead here. We'll see what these guys do for the break shot. If they decide to change a little bit through the match, that's definitely something you can do here with the 3-point rule and the 9 on the spot. You can see a lot of different breaks. Me, myself, I don't like touching the rack after I add the last ball. The outs field says, you lock 8 in there and just add the last. And I've always found the rack is much more consistent that way, in my opinion. Makes it easy. It seems like to me if you keep touching them after you add all the balls, with the 9-ball rack more than the 10-ball, you can actually give yourself a little bit of a funny rack. I really like what Chris has there on the rack. I think that racks him exactly right. Just load 8 and add 1 on the back. Let's see if he decides to add some spin or just stays flat with the cue ball.
Winter break format. 4-ball on the wing.
Yeah, the 4 is a little high. And I didn't hear or see one down.
So both times he's hit the rack pretty good, but not found the pocket. And he's not using the side spin as we saw with some players, right?
Yeah, and that's what they said. It pushes it down. Like you'll see that, of course, it makes sense. The 9 is racked on the spot, so the rack's a little higher, so it makes sense. Both times that Max has broke the corner, balls hit a little high. So for some reason, that outside spin which if you're breaking from the right would be right English. Seems to be pushing that corner ball in. Not every time, but a lot.
Push out.
Yeah, he's going to lay him on the rail here. And trying to see what I like. Can he just roll past the one? And
Yeah, I was thinking roll it over into the 8 and just put the cue ball or the 1 ball on the end rail down there. Looks pretty, not great, but
I think
easy.
it's okay. It's a very difficult shot to pass. That's
Right.
for sure. I mean, you're going to try and do something here. Yeah,
Yep.
really nice. Good call, Mark.
Simplicity is your friend here, even when you're at the elite level. Complexity makes it so inconsistent that these guys oftentimes opt for the most simple thing they can possibly do.
Yeah, let complex be more of a when I have to kind of thing. This is one thing I've always seen about Conrad. I mean, kick shots don't always turn out perfect, but it seems like to me he plays a pretty good percentage with the kick shots a lot of times.
And good speed. He didn't overhit that.
No, you want to play that hoping you catch somewhere around the third to half the ball. At that speed, you usually split them and get some separation. Touchy little shot here to start. I like putting the 1 underneath the 3 here, just kind of using the 4-9. I think it's pretty doable, and plus it gives you a lot of, if you do let him see a little piece of it, he's probably not going to be offensive on you. He's got to add a hair spin, but I think it lays pretty nice, Mark. Max is going to get into his automatic extension here.
Boy.
Yeah, you can really put him in
Good
jail
shot.
with that shot.
Good
yeah.
shot. Wow. This could be tough to hit.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of no jump cues in this situation right here.
Oh, it's so much of a better game.
He's played a beautiful safety, and
It would make you sick if the guy made a full, took a jump cue out and just nicked the 1 from here.
he's really taken an aggressive shot there because he opened up a lot of balls, and maybe Conrad didn't want to have to try and tie something up 2 consecutive games. That's a hard one to pull on, right? You hate having to tie something up. Now, do you move if the 3 is tight at all? Do you play the 1 off the 7?
Yeah, why not?
I mean,
This
if the
is
3's
the time
tight,
to do it,
right?
Yeah.
I think it is a pretty open pocket, decently anyways, and the good thing is he's going to be close to the 3, so he's not going to take a chance.
One thing, like you're saying, 2 consecutive games have to tie something up. Well, some of these guys don't play. Everybody doesn't play at this level, so it's rare that ever comes up. But when you're playing here with these guys, pure killers, you have to get used to sometimes going through multiple innings where you have to play distasteful shots in order to give yourself a chance to win, because you cannot leave Max Eberle this type of layout.
Yeah.
Period.
Along with about
anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
the guys that are left today, that's for sure, most likely.
Right.
And the thing is, it's just like kicking. You might go 5-6 games kicking at the ball, it seems like, before you get a shot. Same thing if you have to tie one up, you just got to be disciplined. All right, nice little 2-rail follow here, and you can see most of the balls are near a pocket, so Max should get a 2-0 lead here. Pretty smooth stroke there. We saw it the other night. Max can get, I think a little quick at times. That's what got him. And that's all of us. That's,
Checking out which route. And, I kind of like that go around the table 4 cushions route from here rather than drawing back. Either one works, but yes, this is the angle I'm talking about here, where you can just come around 4 cushions. Or you can just play it through, or just play it 2 to the center. I guess probably 2 to the center is probably the best here.
Yeah, I kind of like that myself.
That's smoother. You're going to make the 6 ball more often.
And the 8's just a cold hanger. You know what I mean? If the 8 was a little funny, getting to that end rail could really help you.
Right.
But with the 8 being so simple.
Here, I mean, you're going to aim for an angle, but either angle works.
Yeah, just don't get thin on anything, right? I mean,
Right.
you can move the ball, the 9s.
That's
and
right.
kind of usual spot there with the template. Only thing I don't like about the template sometimes is, you know, it's a great rack for Moundsville, but the 9, I'd love to see a little more variation on 9-ball shots. Okay, Max is feeling pretty good. Most of these guys played a 9 a.m. match, I think, this morning. They had to get started early on the last day.
And Mad Max converts ball in hand into a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and it's been 2 ball in hands, right? So Jushishin.
Yes, yeah, because he tried to tie up a ball there when I called push out, that it wasn't a push out, but nevertheless.
And it's, you know, we've seen it all quickly, right? 2 dry breaks, push out, trying to tie balls up a couple times, and then a lot of Max Eberly knocking balls in. Okay, random on the rack with the 1 up front, of course, 9 on the spot. Bring you quite a few matches today, of course. The majors late in the day, but maybe 4 to 5 matches or so here on the,
I would
main
think.
table. Now, is that a little weight Max has added up there? There's like, looks like some type of wrapping paper a little forward of his hand there. Oh, he tried to cut him and spin him. Okay, so I like the change immediately and not being stubborn, Mark.
Yeah, he broke from one time from this side, then the other time from that side, and then now he's changed his break again. Went for a cut break.
Yeah, and he really got a lot of movement, meaning it was a cut break, but it wasn't like super duper cut, right?
Right.
It seemed like he got a lot of into the rack. We are playing the 3-point rule, which is the equivalent of making balls and balls past the head string. You make 1, you got to get 2 past the head string. Yeah, I was saying that if you make 1, they got a total 3. So if you make 1, you have to get 2 past the head string. If you make 2, you got to get 1 past the head string, and so on. If you make 3, you're good. If you don't make 1, that's where people get confused sometimes. You still have to comply with 3 past the head string, or else your opponent can pass it back.
Boy, he's playing good.
Yeah, a little unlucky here.
Right. Looks like he's got a hint of an angle here.
Not
a
just,
lot.
you know.
Not a lot. He won't be able to do anything, but I think he can get it off the side cushion. So end rail, side cushion, and then just play the 5. And he will have the right angle to travel to the 6 ball. But you got to be careful not trying to create more angle here and miss the 4. So.
Yeah, he's got to put a little into this. He wants a good second bounce here. That's perfect. And it's amazing pull, you know. It's a 1 inch, and he's like really like cherry zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then now he just had to pay attention to that 4 ball and make a good shot. I don't know. This looks a little bit like if he wants to put follow, he's threatening the 9, so he may drag behind the 6 here.
I think that plays better if you go to the other side of the table. Then you're always on the 6.
Yeah, make sure you pinch it. That's a good job. If your tip comes up a hair right there, you can fall real funny behind the 6 a little bit. So good job for Max keeping that tip position. It looks like a nice little draw stroke, and I'll tell you what, Max likes this TV arena. I mean, besides a couple of dry breaks, he's kind of doing what he did in the 10-foot match there early.
Yeah, Max is looking good here. Break and run out there as he takes a 3-0 lead early stages of this match.
Yeah, and I doubt he's going to leave that break, You know, that type of break
Yeah.
he just used right there, you know, after 2 dry ones, and then he makes, I think, 2 or 3 on the break right there, at least 2, maybe 3, and complied easily.
And Max still playing 1,000. He has been playing some good pool. No question about it.
Is he going to change? I thought he broke from the side rail cutting him out. I could be dead wrong there. So we'll see. Looks like he's probably cutting him again. He's hitting low, and it looks like maybe a little bit of right English here. Hit him a little heavier that time on the cut. 7 ball. Okay. The guy's still rolling with a nice shot on the 1 mark. 2's very
Right.
doable. The 3's over the side. This hits very nice to get out again. Really just kind of a little bit touchy on the 1 maybe. You got to make a decision if I'm going to float it in. He can come down straight for the side for the 2 by the 8. I think that's a pretty smart play.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like that's the speed on the cue ball to shoot the 1 comfortably. Looks like just straight English. I wouldn't use the second rail here, I don't think, anyways. That being,
Right.
you know, short rail, short rail. His preference, of course, looks like he might be loading up for that second
Yeah,
rail.
it does too.
Oh, he made it look easy, and maybe that was the shot. Okay, the 4 is very easy. Okay, so this is where, you know, if you have too much angle on the 2, don't be afraid to move for the 3 in the corner by the 6. But I think he's okay.
He'd like to use inside spin and stay above the 9 all the time rather than have to go around them. But the way he's queuing up, it appears like he's planning to go around. No, he was able to just roll it. Okay.
Yeah, and that's where the camera fools us and our viewpoint. We got a great one, don't get me wrong, one of the best ones in the house, but still not, we can't see what Max sees, that's for sure. Okay, don't have to flirt here with the 6 so playable. You can definitely play short side. You can come out 2 rails above. It's kind of up to you. If you play short side, you want to make sure you're off the rail with the cue ball. That's the only thing that can really hurt you. I'd probably maybe come out 2 rails to the center of the table myself. We'll see. No, he played short, and that's
Once again, I think it's
the
so much
minimal cue ball movement, right?
Well, and he's down there at the table,
Seeing everything, yeah.
Because look at how soft he hit that, and look where he got the cue ball.
No,
I
and
mean,
that's probably what I saw first. You know, as far as like simple, you know.
yeah.
Especially when the table's not playing super tough, of course. It's not playing easy. We saw some balls hang up last night, so that the table's starting to break in a little bit.
But you can see he's really got some nice momentum here. He's comfortable. That shot was effortless. He hit the heart of the pocket. It wasn't like he was staggering it in. So
Yeah.
his decision was a great decision, no doubt. And then
Yeah, and he's doing everything, like I said, keeping the cue ball off the rail, which makes you handle any angles that you're not super in love with.
a lot of great work here from Max Eberle.
Yeah, if it's any kind of flirty in the side right here, you can certainly just take this in the corner with a little high ball. This ball will roll down into a nice position for the 9.
Good shot there. This would be a second consecutive break and run out for Eberle. Now that he's found a break spot. And you know, Jeremy, we talked earlier, what started all this was Eberle got ball in hand in the first game, won it. Then in the second game, Conrad maybe didn't want to play the tie up the ball shot, right?
He went for a swerve shot.
And now look at what it's turned into, 3 games.
Yeah.
And Eberle's breaking. And probably when Conrad comes back to the table, it's not going to be a nice shot. He's going to have to earn an opening. So it can quickly morph into 3 or 4 games on you.
Yeah.
So you just have to fight.
And that TPA at 1,000 still for Max. And, you know, the only thing I might say that was a little off was maybe that push out where Max kind of easily rolled the cue ball on the 1 up into the 8 and then put him behind the 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, little light on the push out maybe. You know, Conrad made a really nice 2-rail kick on the 1, but Max put him in jail, putting the 1 behind the 3 there and settled for that swerve. But interesting that Conrad's only gotten he lost the lag by a millimeter. Then he's gotten a swerve shot, a kick shot, and let me tie a ball up shot.
Yeah.
That's not much.
No.
Okay, cutting him still.
Wing ball didn't go in.
Okay, so as I said, maybe we'll see Conrad and look at the 2. Just like you said, it's going to be one of those games.
Yeah.
Conrad's going to have to take a few innings to get on the board. He's going to have to shake the first 4 games off.
That's what's deceptive for people. They're at home playing, and they're playing good. And then they come to the tournament, and they don't do that well, but they're not used to not getting good starts. You know, a lot of times their opponents are getting them good starts. Here you have to fight and earn every opening. And I would say maybe a full two-thirds of the time you're coming to the table with something distasteful like this.
Yeah.
Unlike at home, you got a nice shot in the side to start, and then you feel like, well, I'm playing good. I'm running out. But no.
Yeah, you get whether you get dialed in on the break or whatever it is. But, you know, we've all seen it. I've sat here, you know, watch my opponent that I did not know warm up, not miss a ball.
Yeah.
Get your attention, and then in the match, maybe it doesn't go that way for him. So I hate to give up ball in hand here, of course, but would you go for the swerve here? I mean, I know you're opening some balls, right? But
the most vital balls, you're going to, yeah. But, yeah.
Oh, that's a masse. That's no swerve there. That's way up in the air.
I don't see this very often.
I might get into the 3. Oh.
Okay.
Well, he's going to get locked up here.
This is where you can see
the 9,
the 3 foul rule.
The 9 and the safety? You can cut the 1 onto the 9 and plant him right behind the 4, or you could really just bury the cue ball and the 1. Oh, man, does he even? Let's see here.
You know, the bad thing here, I don't think I would have played it that way, even though this is a good one. But you can't get the 3 foul rule. And with that clutter over there, this is a hard ball to dislodge, this 2 ball. So I think I would have maybe considered putting the 6 ball on top of the 1 and pinning it all in there together and just give Max ball in hand from there where he can't hit it if that's possible. Yeah. Or I would have played a shot that left the 1 over here by the 4 and tried to get the cue ball 2 cushions around underneath the 7 or something on that order.
Well, I think the sliver, he could have slivered the 1, leaving the 1 on top of those balls there and still get the snooker. Now he leaves a little easier kick shot doing that, but still going to be a very difficult kick shot regardless.
My point is that it's going to be hard to play safe from here,
I get
or
it.
else you have to gamble going into this.
No, he can get underneath the 2 here. He can really lock him up pretty good.
He sure can. Yeah, you want to get that cue ball right on the rail up by the – no, Conrad needs a little more angle there. It's pretty flat.
I think
you'd like to get closer to the 2.
Yeah, with the 4 and the 7, though, just make sure you get full.
Okay, he got pretty close there.
And
he could stop the cue ball.
He's going to be a favorite to get the 3 fouls here and the win, I think, anyways. This is going to be a super tough kick. Oh, he opened it up a little more, so he's giving him a little more air.
And Ken Schumann's warning Max Eberle's on 2 fouls now, I believe.
Can he kick, maybe elevate just a hair?
I think it's just one rail.
Just one rail?
Over here to the side.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can get the overhead real quick. If we can, maybe not. But anyway, past the 6 ball.
That's what I would do with a bunch of right spin.
Yes.
Hit right before the side with a bunch of right spin and go by the 5.
Now, this is okay, but you can dislodge the 3. You really don't want to
hit it
dislodge
2 rails.
And you don't want to hit the 3 ball, though. And
No,
this
but
could
I mean,
swerve long, too.
You got to hit it, period.
Swerve long, too. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Swerve long. That's the problem with that one.
Yeah, top English.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
first 3 foul rule loss that we've seen, and that's Conrad Yasheshin's first win in the set. 4-1 is our score.
Yeah, and again, we've seen it all quickly, I think, in this first 5 games.
A couple of interesting things happened there. If we could get the overhead for just a moment, okay? When there's that cluster of balls over here, Jeremy, and the ones here, like this, and the 6 ball was here, what if you just take and hit the 6 ball on top of the 1 and pin that in there?
Yeah.
Then now you've got him on 2, but you have to make a good shot to do that.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying it wasn't you rarely ever see that circumstance where you take an intentional foul because the other guy's on a foul and then create like a Mickey Mouse ears over there on the rail where he's got to take another foul and open them for you.
Looks like a little side spin.
So you were
see
right.
The corner ball go right on in.
And the 1, too, and it did have just a hint of side spin there.
Yeah, real solid hit on the 1, too. It wasn't a major cut. So this guy here, Jushishin, he can really get going on you. That's for sure. Very natural player. You wouldn't say kind of a simple setup, simple kind of motion.
Nice clearance in the stands for sure. I always like that. And he's a very free stroking kind of a guy, And here he missed a open 2. I'm sure he's disappointed.
Yeah, we'll see what Max can do. It really looks like this is the shot. I mean, the 6 is a little funny with the 9 there.
Right.
This is where you'd like to go off the right side of the 2 and go the side rail and over, but it might be better to go off the left side of the 2 and try and go between the 6-9-ish or maybe at the 4. Or even straight draw isn't the most terrible. I think off the right side could get you in trouble, though.
This is a big shot.
Oh, he did go off the right, but he went thinly off the right, so super nice there for Max. That was a tricky shot.
Always mentality-wise, this is a crucial rack right here because Yasheshin had a real chance to go ahead and capture a game here without Max shooting. And if Max can win this game, psychologically it's devastating because now he's back to a 4-game lead, and he negates the 3 foul rule success that we had, and now you're one step closer to the end, and it really puts a lot of pressure on your opponent.
This is where Max doesn't use as much spin, and he'll kind of see how he kind of attacks to create that angle off the ball instead of using a little more spin.
Mm-hmm.
When you're close to it, I always talk about you can really go preference because your accuracy is so good.
Yeah.
No matter what you choose, whether it's draw, side spin, or whatever. But when you start to get a little further away sometimes, you got to have a little more standard way of shooting things. And when I say standard, I mean most all the guys shoot it this way once we start to get a little distance. All right, pay attention to this one. I get a feeling this is one that could get away from you, even though it's routine.
Just stop the ball. Don't even do anything here.
Yeah.
You're bridging over the 8 ball. It's a crucial game. You don't need to get closer from there.
Now, what I like about Max here is the closed bridge where you see it's a real trusting bridge to me. Tip position stays a lot better. More these days you see the open hand bridge, which is fine. But to me, it doesn't seem as good. I don't know what it is.
Good work there. Thanks there, Billy. And even though he's only has 5 games, that was still a big game towards
Huge
winning
game.
the set. Yeah, I guess, or it could have been 4-2 if he doesn't capture that. So
That's right. And, You know, Max has played what looks like fairly pressure-free, even though he's probably feeling it a little bit. Look at that. TPA still at 933 with 42 balls pocketed and only 3 errors. So, and that game right there, I wouldn't say totally relieves everything, but takes a little pressure off that may have started to mount a little bit. When you get that lead, it's a great feeling, and that's the place you want to be, but that comes with some pressure as well.
Yeah, right. Well, when we know with great players on the opposition that it can turn around in a hurry. So it's 5-1's big with bad players. 5-1 lead is not big with good players.
Yeah, especially this winter break format.
Max,
and this is the, excuse me, Mark, go ahead.
I was going to say, he's looking like he wanted to change.
Yeah, this is the first ranking event for the Matchroom 9-ball calendar. All right, doesn't look like much spin on that tip there, which we haven't seen Max spin the ball much at all. So I don't think he complied. Only 2 back. Even though he didn't make one, that is a huge thing because now Jushishin has the option. Now I think we're playing with a no rollout if you non-comply.
Right.
Which only makes sense. I mean, there's no reason if you're going to play that rule.
Yeah.
There's no reason to add the rollout in there.
Yeah. Kind of negates the penalty.
Yeah, and this kick shot here, I got a good feeling about this kick shot here. Not only could he make it just straight in, but he could just shave the 6 a little bit and make the 1 that way, too. It sits actually pretty well to do so. I don't think he makes the 6 in the side, getting behind the 1 that much. But this one won't be rolled, I don't think. Okay, he's going to get a little bit of a break with the 2 ball out, it appears. Well, maybe not. That little kiss. Now, let me ask you something, Mark. He's had a non-complying. He was close on another. Up 5-1. Do you change that to where maybe non-complying is not an option? You know, you don't want to go down with a 5-1 lead with Jushishin making the choices after the break, you know, if you're non-complying or not. So
yeah.
My point is, do you go to more of a fuller hit off the side rail, you know, to make sure, because he's not making a ton of balls anyways, right?
Right.
So it's not like he's sacrificing, I'm making 2 or 3 sometimes from this spot, even though I may foul also.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think it's time to change.
Okay, you can cut this in the side. Cue ball may go into the 3 a hair, though, so that could be a little scary.
Very smooth.
Yeah, really nice. This is tight here, though. Doesn't have a full pocket, so he's got to pay attention to that. Oh, he's going to get on top of this ball a little bit.
Good straight stroke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a straight shooter. That's for sure. You may see a little bit of long position sometimes from Conrad. He'll sacrifice the cue ball, that's for sure. I don't mind this in the corner if I'm any doubtful for the side. You can pinch it real well. Actually kind of helps the cue ball a little bit too. I'll tell you, Poland might be the strongest country in Europe for pool. They have about 5 or 6 guys that hover around that top 20 in Europe. You know, they don't have the top 3 or 4 players, but man, they got a lot of them in there.
Yeah, it's pretty full right behind those top 2 or 3.
Well, yeah, and Fortunski's moving on up. You know, it used to be this guy was the best in Poland. I'm not so sure that's the case anymore.
And how about that Victor?
Zelensky?
Yeah.
Is he Polish, though, or is he?
I don't know. Yeah, I assumed that he was, but
he might be. But I thought maybe he was from another country, actually.
I was just trying to think of the great guys I thought were from there. So.
Yeah. I think he actually is. I'm thinking of what's the other kid's name? Oliver, not Zelensky. It's similar to that, though. I'm surprised he's not here, to be honest with you. Okay, Conrad's going to get back on the board here. And one thing he can look forward to is breaking the balls, because his only break of the match was really nice.
All right. 5-2 is our score. That's pretty interesting. Matchroom has just installed this points system, merit-based, for earning your trip to the Moscone Cup, and it's predicated on the amount of prize money that you win this year, I believe. Do you know?
Yeah, points go with the prize money. They have quite a few tournaments, both here and in Europe, to make some rankings. This is the first one here in the U.S.
Pretty cool. And, you know, as of tomorrow, we're going to start seeing where people stack up on the points ranking, right?
No, it's great. I mean, you know, for many, many years, that's how they went by rankings, and that's what they've wanted to do, at least for a portion of the team. All right, you can see just that Q-tip a little bit on the right side of the ball. Not a ton, but a little bit. He's
One
made
ball
the
found
one
the
ball.
side, complying break, open shot at the 2 ball.
Yeah, I'd say. He can put a lot of racks together quickly, Conrad. He can really get to rolling. Yeah, but you'll start to see some, you know, the formula work as the tournaments go. And, you know, build some suspense towards the end of the year.
Yeah, some urgency. And Matchroom's pretty committed, because I saw Emily Fraser here earlier today, and this is their first ranking event.
He got real funny out of line here, didn't he? He's got to kind of pound it a little bit, 2 rails.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to have to hit it. Yeah, he was able to connect and
He got a lot
get
on
some
it.
distance. You know, it's good to have Barry Hearn involved no matter what, for the sake of our sport. And some people, you know, they have an opinion that maybe he shouldn't be, but nevertheless, if you allow it because you've done nothing over the years, you should be thankful. It's easy to sit on the sidelines and criticize, but it's quite another thing to get up and do something and have an answer.
Yeah, and it's the thing is, you know, who really knows the answer, right? But it's all about putting in the work to find it. And, you know, we have experienced people, so which is great.
With a track record.
Yeah, of success. Yeah, exactly. And you know, and really has kind of proven some things. You know, the Moscone Cup could have been lost a few times. And not for any bad reason. It's just the way it goes. But, you know, they stuck with it, kept promoting it, you know, just like they're going to do with the other events, try and make them bigger and grander and larger. They've already added 2 pretty huge events. They're both in Europe, but still, though, that's fine. The UK Open and the European Open.
Nice break and run out there. First one of the match for Conrad Yesheshin.
Yeah, and a really nice stroke there on the 9. Really smoothed it in at 5-3.
Well, I know I'm very hopeful, and I'm excited to see, you know, this is just year 1, but knowing Barry Hearn and Matchroom, as things move forward, it's going to get better and bigger and more solid and more structured. But we got a good start here anyway. Something we've needed for a long time.
Yeah, our National Billiard Academy rack track, with Max taking the first 5 out of 6. Now Conrad with 2 in a row. And sports is amazing to me. Like, you know, feels like it's been pretty much all Max, but it's really had 5-3.
Yeah.
So it always seems like the person trailing doesn't have to do much to get back into the match sometimes.
It's been very effective on the 1 ball on the side.
Yeah, and he's hitting a heavier cut, which I like, using the side rail. I think you push the 7 a little more with that side spin maybe in the corner. Oh, you hit it way high. Had a little more cut on that one, actually. And Max is going to get a good chance to get started here on an easy 1-ball.
You know, talking about the Matchroom Tour, Jeremy, does that not inspire you to want to play?
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, big events. The one thing I like about Matchroom is they're paying attention to the right things. The tighter pockets that they're going to, I think, is an excellent idea. You know, they're not going crazy with it because the conditions are going to be really nice, so very playable. But yeah, I mean, I definitely would love to be competing in a lot of those events.
We haven't had a tour for so long. I mean, at least
Yeah.
now there's something to shoot for with a future.
Okay, looks like just got to stay heavy when you go on this follow shot. Don't cut it too much. Oh, nice smooth stroke there, Max. Got the most out of the cue ball. And now I think he can pull it between the 3-7, huh, Mark?
Yeah, it looks great for that.
Same stroke here as the last. That way you don't get the cue ball too hot. Well, okay. Not sure he really wanted it in that position. I thought he may have wanted it a little heavier, but
Yeah, I think his tip came up, and I think he was trying to be conservative and not overcook that one, but it plays so much easier from inside placement than outside placement here. And he was able to glide the 3 in with cue ball control.
yeah, just a little bit of spin to check the cue ball to make sure he didn't get behind the 9. And good he didn't get over the 9. Does he come back into the 7 here, or is he just kind of like drawing it back a little bit on the line it's on? May have to play short side on the 6. We'll see. All right, got perfect here, Mark. Most would consider perfect a little underneath the ball, right?
Yeah.
To make the shot easy, but that's flirting with getting straight in. Max is playing good. Supposed to bury this one and come across.
And he picked up the right angle. Most players would have gone to the rail and come out to get to this angle, just because if Max is another inch short, it's really ugly. But he played it perfect. Nice shot.
Yeah. Shots down the rail. You want to be a great player, you should put in, 100 or 2 of those a day. It's amazing when you get confident with shots down the rail how much easier the game becomes. Just because that choice comes up a lot, right?
Right.
Yeah, play behind it or play in front of it. Oh, okay. I don't know if he was convinced when he first let it go. Kind of looked at the cue ball quickly as
Right.
it was going towards that side.
Well, and plus he got way straighter than he wanted.
Yeah. Maybe just slow draw this back. I don't think he really has to do a whole lot. You don't want it to be racing back. Just a nice clean stroke. Yeah, I like that. That way it doesn't really get out of control. Maybe got a few more inches out of it than he wanted.
Yeah, like you're saying, a couple inches short lets it play a little bit easier. But
Get another 3-game lead. Oh,
nice,
man.
very nice.
And it looks like he's getting even better with his timing to me.
Yeah, the dry break caught Yashesh in there. 6-3 is their score. Nick Varner and I were coming back from a pool clinic not too long ago. We were talking about how, looking back on our lives, how we worked hard, but today we would know so much better how to train ourselves than we did then. It wasn't that we were unwilling to put the time in. It's just that now it's evolution and technology, and then seeing
Yeah.
other great players. We were just saying how much we would give to go back and be 25 again. Boy, that's a nice stat. 51 balls pocketed and 3 errors. Super strong. 944.
Yeah, all these guys want results. I mean, unfortunately, there can only be one winner and one second place and so on in each of these events. But Max has got to feel good from what I've seen. The time he's put in preparing for this event, it's really paid off with his performance.
Yeah, it has to be extensive. He did just come here and start playing pretty good.
Yeah. Now, he did change there. No complying break just yet. So Max is going to be put in a position to kick at the ball again.
But no, oh, you mean, I think he did comply.
Oh, I thought just the 1 and 5.
No.
Did the 6 get past? The 1 and
Yeah,
5?
the 6
only...
crossed.
Oh, okay. If the 6
Just the
crossed...
edge of the ball has to hit the line.
Okay.
Kenny was there.
I see it. It's on the line now, so that's good.
The 5 went through the.
Yeah, the 1 and 5 definitely crossed. I just didn't realize the 6 at the end got there. And now a difficult rollout.
Yeah, I'm sure Max is relieved the 6 got to the edge. That would have been really ugly from here.
Yeah, and Conrad's going to challenge here on the 1.
This 3-point rule will be a thing of the past here shortly. It's so preposterous. The players hate it. We had a match earlier this week where Appleton made 2 balls on the break, and then 2 balls were going to cross the head string and clattered into each other and didn't make it. And then the other guy got to shoot and run out, and then I think it was Filler ran that rack and Broken ran out.
I think
Changed that match quite a bit.
I think Max is supposed to roll this ball in and then play safe on the 2. Don't think he's supposed to pass it. I don't think he's supposed to go up in the air with no guaranteed pocket on the 2, Mark. I mean, there's nothing guaranteed here. So I like just rolling this ball in. I mean, I know you're saying to yourself, well, if you miss it, you feel like a sucker. He might run out. But you're supposed to make this at a high clip, and then the safety on the 2 is not bad at all. So I think a very, very good decision, and not one that is easily made to shoot at the 1 like that when you know you're not getting shape.
True.
But I think percentage-wise, it's the correct one. Now, the safety on the 2 isn't a complete hanger, that's for sure. Where do you go?
Well, I think, can you power up and stun the cue ball over behind the 8 with control and just take your chances on the 2? Just take your chances because you got the 4, the 7, the 3, the 8.
Well, you might bank the 2 in anyways. I think you're going to cut it a little much, but I like your shot.
But I'm saying mostly emphasize cue ball here, even if the 2 gets away from you.
But the thing is, don't cut the 2. You got to hit the 2 full and slowly stun over. You don't want speed on the cue ball. I think he's going for the long railer.
Well, he went all out to make it. That cue ball got away, or else he hit it way thin. I guess he hit it way thin because look how wide the 2 went.
Yeah.
I would have played the cue ball more than the bank.
Yeah. I think he was trying. It just got a little.
And that being said, I mean, he's down there, and that was still a long, tough get. But
all right, trying to open the 4, it looks like.
mission accomplished on all fronts.
No kill shot here.
Yeah, it's certainly easy to criticize somebody and sit here and say, well, I would have did this, I would have did that. You play perfect, but it's not that easy on the table at all, and I'm certainly fully aware.
Looks like he may roll forward an inch, maybe stop. Kind of depends on what he likes on the 5. How he likes to play the 5. Should just be one rail towards where the cue ball's at now.
Yeah, anybody that shoots as straight as him, I would not fool around moving the cue ball very much. As Jeremy Jones says, rely on your talent. Go to your strength. You're a shot maker. Don't worry about it. Just get the cue ball out in the middle.
A little pinch on the cue ball, looks like. Okay, he can stun behind the 8 if he wants, no problem. Looks like he could follow and bump the 8, but that's not something you'd want to do. And again, this guy's such a straight shooter. easily just get behind the 8. You don't have to work the cue ball around some 3 or 4 rails or something to get on the 8. Looks like he's going to play that bump into the 8. This is a little dangerous. Could get a little funny. Should be okay. But
Well, it did get a little funny.
gets a hair thinner, just a hair. I mean,
That's what I
another
mean.
inch, it could really get funny.
He didn't feel good about getting the cue ball down below it, and so he bumped it. But then that's just what Jeremy said. Now you get thin. Now you got to go 3 rails or bend the cue ball with 2 cushions. Oh, he was able to control it for 1 cushion. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't as bad as we feared.
No, when you're close to it, you can really kill the angle a little bit, but just a matter of, percentage-wise, when these guys bump that ball like that, they're going to usually be okay. It's just that 1 out of 10, 2 out of 15 that gets away from them. And now 6-4. All these players knew it was going to be a long day here on the final day. Here's our National Billiard Academy rack track. Again, 5 out of 6 to open, but for Max, but 3 out of 4 cents for Jushishin. Conrad. Always like that name, Conrad.
Yeah. Sounds
Sounds so
almost
official.
regal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Conrad.
Okay. Pretty heavy cut break here with a little bit of right. Not a maximum right like some of the guys, but a little bit of right.
1 ball coming short.
Yeah. And it seems like to me when he's cut them more
Yeah.
is when he has had not that much success, like right there.
Was not a complying break either.
That means Mr. Eberle does not have to take the shot, and Conrad is forced to if Max passes it back. And that's the other thing. When you cut them more, it seems like you got that chance as well. Now, if he can see a piece of this, I don't know about passing this shot with all these balls there. I don't understand that from Max. With all those balls there, that was a pretty routine safety.
Yeah, pretty routine reply. I think Max didn't want to come to the table without being able to play offense, and sickened him to have to have an option and play defense, but he probably should have.
Yeah, and I think maybe Conrad had to swerve a hair around the 6. I don't know, but it certainly wasn't much. Is he looking at? Is it that much swerve? Yeah, it's 2 swerve shots that normally the players make contact, but 2 of them that have gotten away from Max here. Conrad, he's got the 3 by the 4 in the corner. The 3 goes by the 6 in the side, so he'll set up for the 2 in the side and then follow down one way or another.
So maybe a little bit of a lapse there, judgment-wise, a couple times with Max, I would say.
Yeah.
They're both playing well. Both players are shooting well. But he passed on the shot and then ended up giving up ball in hand.
Yeah, and it's, maybe it was a little touchy, but you got to take that one on. And I think in reflection, Max would tell you the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to cut it to 1 game. And these guys playing at a nice pace have played 10 games pretty quickly. He's got to play the 4-5. I don't see him queuing down here. Okay. So he got a little off angle, so no reason to really try and work the cue ball too much. Just make this simple combination. Doesn't want to make them both. They're calling a lot of matches right now, and I have not heard one that this is not a great match. So this 9 ball, even though there's quite a bit more left, it's dwindling down quite a bit. All right, looks like he got a little straight here. Want to go forward. He went past it a little bit. Oh, he was going for the side. Okay. Which I've noticed that about Conrad, and not saying just for side pockets, but he'll run the cue ball. Does not mind moving the cue ball. And this has got a little interesting. He's got to have some pretty good speed on this draw stroke. Not saying he's going to draw it a ton, but anytime you're going to be near the rail, that a little bit of a cut can become pretty difficult. Oh, what a sweet stroke that was.
Typical lefty smooth
Yeah,
delivery.
Yeah, center pocket there on the 8 as well.
I don't know why left-handers are smoother than right-handers, but just inherently they always seem to be. Well, nice job there, cleaning up after getting ball in hand. 6-5 is our score. Yeah, really what I'm thinking, Jeremy, is you and I are going to train real hard this year, and you're going to play all 12 ranking events.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking would be the appropriate. Except you missed the first one, so we'll spot the field one
event.
That's fair, because you're going to be working so hard.
Yeah. They need one spot anyways, Mark.
That's what I'm saying.
Small spot.
Yeah. Gave you a chance to get off to a run start, and then Double J's coming on through.
All right, I think a little heavier hit on the one, like his first couple. I think that's the ticket. Oh, nice.
The one.
They all got collided in the middle, though, but he's made 2 on the break. So he did comply with the 3 coming behind. Now, super tough rollout, though. Now, this is you may roll out, maybe a little closer to the 4 here, only to create a little better kick shot angle on the 2. And what I mean is going to the side rail and banking the 2 back up by the 4 and 5 a little bit, and then letting the cue ball come off the 2 and, over behind the 8 and 9. Pretty standard, pretty easy kick shot. If he rolls out to the end rail, I wouldn't want to take it from here. This angle isn't as good. You have to hit it much harder like he tried. And I think he was trying to go for the rail first make. Just cut it right on in at that speed, huh, Mark?
I almost for sure you would play. I'll kick bank this straight back.
Yeah.
But
all right,
we're going to have a short player timeout now. We'll be right back. We're back. Mad Max is at the table shooting the 2 ball. He's up there measuring a kick. This is kind of an interesting kick. If he needs to kick, I guess he wouldn't measure it up otherwise. Now he's looking at it this way, this direction. This is perhaps a bit safer without the possibility of making the 2 very much.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind swerving at this, Mark. And the only reason I say that is not to make it, but to hit it heavy and bang it around. I mean, it doesn't look like but a sliver of the 7 ball to me anyways. And normally the good players can really control the swerve pretty well. I mean, nothing's easy regardless. Type of shot when you hit it, you make it a lot. All right, he's created a little luck. And maybe has an edge of the 2 here, it looks like.
That kick that Max just played, what if you played that shot ultra soft? Like just get the 2 to the pocket type of speed. Do you know a lot of times it ends up kind of tricky for your opponent?
Yeah, when you don't make it.
Yeah, you don't absolutely sell out on that. But he was up pretty high, so it makes that angle, controlling the angle, super soft, tough that way.
Yeah, you got to be confident on hitting the ball soft. But, when you don't have a whole lot of else, I've seen Efren so many times kick soft, and lay on the ball, get on top of it one way or another, make it real odd for his opponent.
Good shot there,
Is he
Max.
going to get any reward here?
He's
This
gonna
has
get
got to
punished.
go.
Yeah, I think he's going to get punished for that great shot. Too bad. Good attempt.
Yeah, he's going to have to probably – he can go one rail, but I kind of like 2 rails myself. That'd be the short cushion, the top of your screen, and the left side rail. Looks like he's sizing up 1 rail, which is fine. You know, it's a little preference there. All right, looks like he's going to 1. Probably center ball doesn't really slow roll this one if he's going 1 rail. Usually that's a firmer hit.
Made the 9 and the cue ball.
Wow.
You know, Max really gets short and quick on that last swing on a lot of them, doesn't he?
It seems like as the match goes on, it gets a little
more pronounced.
Yeah, the 2 ball was the same way. The first kick shot there.
Yeah, really abrupt.
And what happens is the good thing for Max is, for the most part, he still accelerates off of it, which gives you a better chance than guiding. You know, a lot of times when you go back quick, your mind takes over. Oh, I'm going too fast, and it tries to guide the swing and becomes a little decel. But the problem is, again, it still will get you on some hits, it seems like. A little speed control for sure, but the one thing that's scary to me is it usually lends to bobbling a crucial ball, you know, is what I see. And I'm not talking about just Max. I'm talking about anybody that starts to get a little quick, self-included.
And I think, you know, that's very common.
Uh-oh.
He's going to be okay. Ooh. Yeah, he hit the point, thank goodness.
Yeah, he missed the mark by a good diamond or so there. I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
I was going to say that it's we're saying this for people at home that love to play pool, and we're including ourselves as being guilty of the exact same thing, because I even see top-tier pros do it.
Absolutely.
So be mindful of that, because you can see he's getting a little short. Watch his practice swings. And then on that last swing, especially on testy shots, if it doesn't come only about 2/3 of the way back and then abruptly lurch forward and through the cue ball.
Yeah, and that's why I always say that, you know, with the top players, right, in any sport, when pressure's on, they actually usually underhit the ball. And and the reason why is because actually it's the same thing as Max. The backswing gets short and quick, and then, like I said, you start down quick, and your mind takes over and says, "Oh, I'm going too fast," and it tries to guide the swing, and that's where the underhit.
Right.
Where the good thing for Max is, at least when he's getting quick, he's still accelerating off of it, so that gives you a good fighting chance that you're still going to have some success, especially with all the great tools he has. A very straight stroke, you know, knowledgeable player and whatnot, but. Yeah, it's just really all stems still from that backswing. But
to finish up your point, you know, one, the backswing holds the whole stroke together. That's one thing. And number two, you always hear like NFL quarterbacks or something, they say, boy, your passer rating is really tremendous and stuff. Yeah, it seems like I'm trying to slow the game down type of thing. You know, even though there's chaos going around all around them, they're good about looking up their secondary receiver, despite the fact that they may get their legs crunched.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you know, what sets up the timing for the quarterback is the drop back. You know, that drop back, they're not trying to go back as fast as they can. Those steps going back really leans towards their timing coming forward with the pass, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of odd how they all kind of are similar in ways. You know, it's kind of like what I relate to the pre-strokes, right? What I tell people is, imagine the guy at the free throw line. You know, what they do, and the pre-strokes for them are the dribbles. They never dribble real fast and choppy. They're always calm and cool and collect. You know, it's not slow motion, but it's relaxed, right? And it's the same thing with the pre-strokes. You don't want to get quick and choppy. And to be honest with you, with Max, sometimes you can start to see the start of the takeaway. See how the start of the takeaway of the pre-strokes right there are a little bit jumpy, right? And that's what's going to get you as pressure kind of sets in.
One, the tip accelerates up to the cue ball on practice swings, you know, and then it lurches to a stop rather than floats up there like you see, like a filler or somebody like that.
Yeah, I call it kind of they get a little edgy, right? Like a little bit just
pushing the boundary.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it choppy because he does have some length in there, but just a little edgy as a little pressure mounts.
As you come forward with increasing speed, you then have to squeeze to a stop, which then lightly distorts the tip, just that microdot.
Yeah, and you become kind of a hitter of the cue ball a little bit more than the motion stroking through the ball. Now right there, those were nice and clean, and it kind of led towards a pretty good shot. I preach to players, especially once you start to play at a decent level, meaning you've gotten your form, you've gotten some stroke, and all that, really don't worry about speed. Speed is a very natural thing. If you need to draw your ball, Mark, you're not going to go dink. You're going to apply speed. I mean, it's like hitting somebody. You don't have to worry about the speed. It'll be there. If you worry about everything else, power's the easy part.
Now that shot, he was real smooth getting up to the cue ball.
And maybe, most of us can feel it. Like I can feel it when I get quick.
Yeah.
It's a very obvious thing to me, so you got to be conscious during the match. All right, big draw stroke here to regain a lead he's had the entire match. Well,
very smooth there.
We talk about timing and different things and how important it is. I think it was OB that came out with what was the thing they put on the back of the cue? DigiCue.
Yeah.
And I think that thing had some value, but I only tinkered with it once in Shreveport. And there were a bunch of us good players there. And one of the reps for OB had it and wanted us to go through a few shots. I'll explain after this 9-ball. All right,
good
Max
shot.
doesn't slow roll the 9 and now a 7-6 lead. But what I was getting at, there was 5 or 6 of us, and the OB guy set up some shots, and he said, I would love for y'all to try this, all y'all.
Yeah.
And so we had a little competition there, and I think there were about 5 different categories that DigiCue, rated. Straightness of stroke, going across the line, tempo, timing a backswing, length of backswing. So my point being is I got crushed in all the categories besides tempo. But I robbed those guys in all the shots. They had the straighter stroke. They had whatever you want to call it as far as the tip hitting a little better on the cue ball, whatever. But timing itself and tempo gives you so much margin for error in our game. It's really, of course, you want the straight stroke and all that. But, man, I think that's the real engine to the game really is the tempo and the timing of the swing.
In recent years, a resurgent Corey Deuel has kind of emphasized that tempo and timing, it seems like, and playing very smooth and fluid. So, most impressive. I don't know that he's ever thought it out that way.
He's come to the house a few times. We've talked about it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got about 1,000 videos of him, me and Joey Gray. Maybe not that many, but quite a few. Now Max with a 7-6 lead, and we can definitely say, even though the last couple have been a little struggle, he's broke the balls at a great rate. And, he started out with a few breaking runs, and I think he needs to find that right now again at 7-6.
It's off the side rail now.
I think that's all right. I think he's definitely going to get a complying break here. Nothing down again. Cue ball maybe. Oh, no.
Well, we sure had a few interesting twists and turns in this match. We had a 3-foul rule early on. We've had 3 breaking runs.
Tying balls up. You don't see that often. A couple games in a row that from Conrad, or actually the second one he should have tied a ball up. Maybe he went for the swerve shot. Looks like he's got to draw back to short side here, Mark. 2's pretty tight by the 8.
He went out to look at it. I thought he was happy with it out there, 2 going by the 8, but maybe we'll find out here. Yeah,
Oh, he's two didn't even go by the 9 either, so he had to come back
He
really
was-
short side.
We know for sure he wasn't happy with the 2 by the 8.
Well, he's gotten straight here. He's very upset, like he's drawn on top of the 3 maybe.
Yeah.
Or if he can just has to play short side, he shouldn't be too upset about that. Is he going to try and cheat the pocket a little bit from distance? Tough shot. Oh, got the
Good
bump.
job. Good job.
Yeah, 6 ball's a big ball here, though. So he'll try and draw this back and just take a little distance, I think, on the 4. Ooh, he got thin, Mark. He's going to have to ease this one. That ain't too bad, I guess.
Just got to smooth it out to the center of the table or just short of the center of the table. You don't want to just baby this because then the accuracy, it gets
Absolutely.
diminished. So
One thing you can do here to slow it down is just no side spin.
look at the length of the bridge. This is awkward. Good pace, though.
Yeah, it seems Conrad has shortened it up a little bit, but he used to play with a pretty long bridge. Man, that's a real nice shot.
It
there.
was. He
Made that
barely hit the
beautiful.
cue ball and got it all the way back and straight in.
Yeah, you could almost hear the strike of the cue ball even up here in our booth.
Jerry Bryce says something that's kind of interesting. He says, you know, the backswing holds the whole stroke together. So if you come back fast, then you're more inclined to lurch forward as this speed's getting right into perfect.
Yeah, what I was
And,
going to go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry.
And then that aids that transition staying smooth. It's when you come back fast, squeeze, distort, and then lurch, you know, and then all those things work against you.
Well, what I tell, like I was starting to say earlier, once you start to have played pretty decent, not you ain't got to be any champion, but you've developed some form, understand things. You played a few years. What I tell most that I try to help with their pool game is don't blame the downswing. Recognize that you do things prior to set the downswing up for success or not. If you're having problems with the downswing, it's probably things that are happening for prior. And now this one is falling real funny on the rail, like the shot under pressure. This is the one the players want to stay away from for such a routine shot. Beauty.
Right. Smooth, got it in. 7-7 our score.
Yeah, there's so many analogies or similarities you can use with other sports. It's amazing. And when you have a baseball or anything in your hand, you're throwing, basketball, shooting it, whatever, tempo and timing is huge, right? I mean, just enormous. And just imagine how much more powerful going about it with tempo and timing when you have a tool in your hand, like a cue or a golf club or a tennis racket. So you should realize that that's making the extension of that arm even more powerful. You don't have to really put a ton into it when you got that tool in your hand. So, all right, cue ball leaking. So big lead for Max. Some exchanges. Seems like they're going back and forth with the games now. So it looks like just a decision on the 4 since it doesn't pass the 8 or the 5. Considering he has ball in hand, he should shoot the one in the corner or the side and follow down. Yeah, just never really got kissed. We'll see the replay on the break, just straight to the side pocket.
That's the problem with the cut break right there.
Yeah. It seems like the guys that had won the tournaments using this rule are always trying to come across the spot with the cue ball, it seems like.
A little lower.
Yeah. All right, I think I like this, but I might play in the opposite side myself and follow, by the 6. You know what I mean, Mark? Yeah. I mean, it's a little tight getting behind the 1, but it seems like a little easier shot, but these are both easy.
Well, we'll say less difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. easy.
We'll see. He might
kind
come
of
in a
leads.
little tight.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's really the reason I kind of prefer your shot is that you spend so much more time in the position zone, where this way you don't get to the position zone till late in the shot.
Yeah, it's weird. Okay, doesn't want to get too much angle on the 3, but he definitely needs a little to get to the back side of the 4. It's weird. I'm not a big side pocket guy, but with ball in hand, it seems like you'll use the sides a little more often because
Yeah.
you can take direct routes sometimes. I like this play going to the rail and close to the 3. Now easily to get behind the 4. Is he not going to go for the 4 on the side behind the 8? Is he going to play for the 4-5?
I wouldn't think so. Most guys don't want to play for a combination because if you get off angle, now you can lose control of the secondary object ball.
He's good here. Should make the combo. And the good thing is with a high ball, very hard for the 4 to follow in the 5. You know,
Yeah.
kind of wants to stick there.
But if you go high ball, you have to be careful that cue ball doesn't settle on the long rail.
Or on top of the 8 maybe. Or 'cause
Yeah.
you're not going to want to kill this, of course. You don't want the 4 to get away from the pocket much. Now, if he's stunning 2 rails around the 8. This becomes a missable ball now. I doubt it, but.
Well, there's the long rail coming into play, right?
Yeah. He can cut this, though. Now, I don't know if he will, but he can. Of course, it's bankable.
Looks like he's lining up the bank, so.
Yeah, and it looks like he'll probably hit down on the ball. He'd love to run this for the side, and the only reason being is the bank becomes a cold-blooded hanger to these guys if they get to hit a high ball here. Nice shot.
Scored
Max.
the bank. Good shot.
Max should get to the hill first. And we've seen him flip-flop on games here at the end of this match. So we'll see if Conrad gets a chance here at 8-7. Looks like to me he can draw back for the side pretty easily, right?
That's what I was thinking. I think his decision was straight draw or draw to the side rail. So we know the answer now.
Max has been a great player for some time. Tell you what.
Yeah, the better part of 3 decades, I would say.
Yeah.
Eight 7 is our score.
And he's got to make a one final decision on how he wants to break the balls here. Holding that clip at 9:34. That's some shooting.
That's darn good. There's our rack track. It was all Max Eberle to begin with, and then now Yasheshin's retaliated. Got himself back into the match.
Yeah, I've seen Conrad play a ton of Hill matches. It seems like every match I sweated
Yeah.
his is Hill. Last one I sweated his with Earl at the International. Me and you were in the booth, and they were playing right on the corner. Earl had an incredible out, Hill to beat him. All right, now going back to the center.
Yeah, much closer to the very middle.
Head on, too. No cut here, it looks like. I don't blame
Very
him.
square. 9 on the break.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Well, we saw it all in that match and hated to see somebody have to go. but Mad Max gets it done. Mark, any thoughts there?
Boy, there was a lot of twists and turns, a lot of different aspects of the game, and that was Max's third win from the break to close out the match. So you got to play pretty good. Max Eberle ends up a 935. That's completely world-class elite.
I love the idea of the head-on break because you figure with the template or the outfield that you're gonna comply, right? So at least you're not going to be in a bad position like that and lose the match without complying.
Yeah, great point. All right, this has been an AccuStats presentation, the worldwide leader in billiards programming. That's our time for this time. Until next time, so long.